My name is Bert Wallace, and if Deborah will ever learn how to use this gadget, she's got this toy. I was an associate general partner in the limited partnership called Delta Towers Limited when it was an apartment building. We bought it. I lived in Atlanta. We bought it and raised the money through a limited partnership with financing from 3 Georgia S&Ls, savings and loans, and First Bank of Atlanta. And almost immediately had problems with the lenders because the S&Ls were so small that the loan was too big, and all the S&Ls finally went out of business a couple, 3 or 4 years after we did this. But to keep them from creating a huge loss for the limited partners who were from all over the country, I came down here and put it in bankruptcy, Judge Brainey's bankruptcy court, and kept it in bankruptcy for about 6 years until the partners, the limited partners, could at least get some tax benefits out of the losses, et cetera, et cetera. And we operated it as a Ramada Hotel, did quite well, and that's the end of the story. Then it went to some other company bought it, and then another company bought it, and they turned it into the Palace Hotel or something like that. And that's when all the negative publicity started.
Can you tell us?
Story.
Can you tell us a little bit about your personal feelings about the building, the bar?
Well, the media, you know, the last 4 or 5 nights, all they've had is about all the maintenance problems and rat infested and all this other garbage, and they're talking about things that happened long after we were gone. But when we converted it to a Ramada Hotel, we were basically city heroes. I mean, Dutch Moriel loved us, Jim Singleton loved us, Salvador Anselmo loved us, Joe Geruso loved us, because it was making, at that time, it was a big economic impact. And the big deal in the city was that we were on the, I guess it's the north side of, we were on Canal Street, of course, and we were on the north side of Claiborne and I-10, which was a big leap, and the first really big business that jumped over Claiborne Avenue. So the city council and the mayor and all the other leaders in the city thought we were wonderful at the time. And, of course, when we opened, all the executives from Ramada were down here, and it was a big deal.
You mentioned you had a bar and grill in there with your name, and
yeah.
Also tell us about your wife.
Bert's Bar and Grill was that wasn't my idea. I don't know how that exactly how that happened. I know that our employees had the most to do with that, and sort of jammed that down my throat. But it was fun.
And when and where did you meet Ann, your wife?
Met Ann in Bert's Bar and Grill. As a matter of fact, one evening after work, she was in there with a fella, ended up being a real good friend, George Williams, who was in charge of the Mississippi Pavilion at that World's Fair, and his future wife, Letitia Haas, who was also from Mississippi. George was from Mississippi, and Ann Matthews was working for Letitia, Tish as we call her, and George at the Mississippi Pavilion, and so that's how I met her. Bert's Bar and Grill was famous for giving away a I think it was a 19, I don't know what, Ford Thunderbird, a red Ford Thunderbird, and it was pretty fantastic. It got a lot of publicity. I wish I still had that Thunderbird. It was in great shape.
That's a great story.
This was presented to me by employees. It's one of the, I forget what you call these things. It had 4 elevators, I think, in the lobby of the hotel when we renovated it, and the employees presented this to me, so I'd remember the renovation. Actually, I think at one time there were five of our employees that were general managers at other hotels in the region. Kathleen Simpson, I've forgotten her last name, it's going to kill me. Kathleen Simpson's married name now is, and I've forgotten, but she's the general manager of one of the hotels down in the French Quarter today, and there's nearby in River Ridge. We had all kinds of good employees.
And now you're part of Louisiana Cancer Research Center, which is directly across from the hotel, and we'll be watching the implosion. Can you just tell us what that experience might be like?
Well, yeah, knowing what's going to take its place gets pretty exciting. The economic impact on the region that goes along with it is fantastic. And knowing that I had some small part in that makes a big difference. But it's time for the building to be taken down. They didn't take care of it. Some other things could have happened. It could have been used, but that's hindsight, I guess. But it's exciting thinking about what's going to be there eventually.
You're going to allow us to reopen the Bert's Bar and Grill here in the Cancer Center?
If you've got the money, go ahead and do it.
There's no place to eat here.
That's Bert Wallace. 2 days before the former Ramada Hotel comes down officially, and we will be here to watch it. Thank you.